Hey Caster, Derek here, Baker 6 Clan. This build is all about you. And what I mean by that is that you are gonna help decide of how this gadget cache is gonna be built. So let's get started. All right, so I've been asked many times, what is your process of creating a gadget cache or a creative cache? And we're gonna walk through that, and we're gonna kind of do this over a series of videos because you're gonna help me with the process. And so the first thing that I always start off with is, what type of container do I want this to be in? Do I want it to be in an ammo can or a birdhouse style cache? And so that's what you're gonna help me with. And I'm gonna kind of break it down into some of the different types of ammo cans and maybe some birdhouses that we can do and the material that we can use. And that's what you're gonna help me with. You're gonna decide if we're gonna be building an ammo can or a birdhouse and what type of material we're gonna be using. So let's go ahead and jump into, let's say, the ammo can. Now the ammo can is really great because it's a lot easier sometimes to hide. You don't have to attach it to a tree. And if you do, it's just usually with a chain around the bottom of it, and that's it. And they're a lot easier sometimes to find places to hide the ammo cans. Whereas a birdhouse, well, it's a birdhouse. So you either need to have a pole or something like that to attach it to, or use a type of chain that you can put to a tree to attach it to the tree that does not cut off any of the tree itself. So all the sap and everything can still flow and you're not cutting off a limb or anything like that. So you gotta think about those aspects and where you're gonna hide it. So let's even break it down even further than that. Let's talk about the ammo cans. Well, there's really two different types of ammo cans. You have a plastic ammo can, which is really great, and you've seen some of the gadget style caches that we can do out of that with like the Simon box that we can do, Simon Says, and then there's some other ones that you can do on this as well. Some disadvantages of it, if it gets really cold, if you're in a place that's really cold, it can get really brittle and break. Or you have the traditional metal ammo can. Now the metal ammo can is really great, and this is really durable. You know it's waterproof, it's gonna last for a long time. Now if you wanted to do a gadget cache out of this, you need to come up with a different way of doing the gadget cache, because it's a lot harder to do a gadget cache on the outside of a metal ammo can. So you need to build something on the inside of it with plexiglass to kind of be able to house the mechanism or make it as a smart cache. Or you build another separate gadget that goes inside of it, and this is just the host for that gadget itself. Kind of like what we did with the Kryptex box. That would go in an ammo can, but it is just a host for the actual Kryptex box. So I hope that makes sense on the breakdown of the ammo cans or what we can do out of that. So if you wanted to do an ammo can, you're gonna need to choose if you want to do a metal or a plastic ammo can. And then we're gonna need to, once we get past that, if we know what we're doing, a metal or a plastic, then we also need to start thinking about the puzzle that we wanna do. So now let's get into the birdhouse. Now the birdhouse is very durable, and there's a lot of different things that you can do with the birdhouse. I mean, you've seen me build so many different types of birdhouse caches throughout this last year and so. So you just kind of think about that. But what you need to think about with the birdhouse is, what type of material do you want to use? Do you want it to be out of wood? Or, as I've started using quite a bit of, do you want it to be out of PVC board? Now there's some advantages and disadvantages of each type of material. And these are kind of my opinion of what the advantages are and disadvantages. So yours may differ, but I want you to help me with the decision on this. So if I'm using wood, a lot of times I will really like using deck wood. Now deck wood is really great because, I mean, when I get it, it is treated and it's already set to a specific width, and it's just real easy to just run it through a real quick saw. I don't usually have to do too much other on it. But when I'm using deck wood, it does make it really heavy, and I am limited a lot of times to the width of the board itself, so it makes it really difficult there. But it's pretty durable. I mean, once it's dry, it's pretty good, but it does have a tendency of swelling at times. Another wood that I like is using cedar. And cedar is really great because, I mean, it's naturally durable, it's really good out in the weather, and it's just a really pretty wood to work with. Now, one thing about cedar, it is a soft wood, and it is pretty light when you get your birdhouse built. So that's another great aspect of cedar itself. and it will be really durable out in the field. And this is a great wood. I really do like this. I like the lightness of it, and a lot of times you don't even really need to paint this one as much because of the natural properties of the wood itself. Now, the last material that I've really started using quite a bit is the PVC board. Now, this PVC board is really great. It's really durable. I mean, it's not real wood. So it can be take paint really well, and it's got a wood grain side on one side and a smooth side on the other side. Unlike wood, this will not swell at all. So once it's in place, it's there. Another really cool aspect of this is that you can use nails, or you don't have to. You can just use PVC glue as long as you get that edges nice and smooth and it'll match up really nice. You can just use PVC glue, and if you want to, you can put some nails in there as well to secure it, or you could even use screws. So this is a really durable wood. Now, I've been using this about 5.5 inch wide. They do make it in a little bit longer or wider aspect of it as well, so that is a possibility, and I'm probably going to start getting some little bit wider ones so we can start changing up the width of the birdhouse itself, because right now with getting the smaller ones like this, I am also limited to the same way that I am with the deck wood. So these are some of the options that you can think of what kind of material that you want to use when you're doing a birdhouse. So that's my process of when I start building these gadget caches or creative caches, is kind of figuring out what type of container do I want to make it out of. Do I want to use an ammo can? Now, is it metal or plastic? Or do I want to use a birdhouse, and if, what type of wood or PVC board am I wanting to use? So that's where I need your help. I want you to help me decide, and you're going to do this by leaving comments down below in here on YouTube, or where I post this on Facebook. You can let me know there as well. And also on the community channel on the YouTube side, I'm gonna put a poll up, and you can tell me what type of material you want me to use and what type of cache you want me to build, if it's gonna be a birdhouse or an ammo can style gadget cache. All right, so that's what you need to do. Leave me a comment down below, or comment on Facebook on there, and just let me know. But I hope you've enjoyed this. Now, we're going to be taking this build over the next several weeks, and so you're going to be hopefully as interactive as possible with this, and so that we can come up with this gadget cache together. Hope you enjoy this, but don't go anywhere. Hey, you know what? Go check out one of these other videos right over here that might help you get some ideas what type of gadget cache we can build. All right, I'll see you next time right over here in one of these videos.